Hi everyone, welcome to TurtleBurger Podcast. It's me, Brittany. Thank you for joining me. This is episode 41, I believe. It has been about a month or so since I have filmed. I am a little nervous, a little rusty, so bear with me. Just haven't really kind of felt like the mental capacity to film in between, you know, things going on with the kids and stuff. But we are at my parents-in-law's today, so my husband could mow their grass, and so I thought, well, I'll just fill a box and bring all my projects and sit in front of her garden and film. So that's what I'm doing. I have one finished object, one new cast on, and I think I brought 4 works in progress to show y'all. So let's go ahead and get started. Hopefully I don't talk too fast. I'm kind of nervous. It's been a while. So my one and only finished object is my Luminous Summer Tee by Minimi Knit Designs. It has lived in my CB Crafty Girl bag. So I will show you the finished object, and then I will, talk about all the details and everything. So here it is. It fits really well, but I have not really worn it out because it's kind of hot. It's a DK weight. I made the size 4, I believe it was, and my main color here is, let me get the label. You Knit, I Dye. There's their label. You Knit, I Dye in the color Freak Show. And the bottom, I used 2 full skeins of that. That was all I had. And so the bottom here, I just used a bare yarn, which I don't know if I have. Yes, the bare yarn I used is Knit Picks Hawthorne DK. And it's just a bare yarn I have. And the needles, I believe I used, I don't know if I have those with me here or not. I believe the body was made on a 4.5. Yeah. Oh, yes, I do. Where I switched my interchangeable needles. The body was done on a US size 7, 4.5 millimeter, and then the ribbing and the sleeves were done on a US size 5, 3.75 millimeter needle. Hopefully the sun is not making this too crazy. If it is, I'm sorry. That it's not too much of a glare. The sun is right there. I might need to, I always get confused if the sun is supposed to be behind you, and now it's not. So sorry, is what it is. But if I don't do it now, I'm not gonna get this done. I need a mental reset, and the best way to do that is just film what I can and move on. So that was my one and only finished project. Like I said, it's a DK weight, so I haven't worn it. It's pretty warm. I know when I podcast last time, I said, oh, I'm about 7.5 inches. I'm gonna go more because I don't think it'll be long enough. But I ended up, I think I went to about 8 inches, and to be honest, I was just kind of over it. So I may have stayed at the 7.5. I can't remember. But I just went ahead and did the ribbing and bound off and blocked it. I didn't aggressively block it, but when I did, it grew a little bit, so it'll be fine. Especially with high-waisted jeans or leggings, it looked fine when I tried it on. Okay, so my next, it's a work in progress, but it is a new cast on. Super excited about, and it is another test knit from Darcy of Chitchat Knits, and it is a sock. Let me go and put it on the blocker here. And it is my first time doing cables, so I was just super beyond excited. So let me get this on my blocker here. It is a fingering weight pattern. Here we go. Here's the sock and here's the cables. The pattern calls for 5, but it was getting a little tight on my leg when I was trying it on, so I stopped it at 3, which I don't know what you can see or not, because frankly the sun is kind of glaring out here. So I cast on 56 stitches. It is a 2x2 knit through the back loop. So is that a twisted rib? I feel like that's a twisted rib. And then you go into your cable. I did use a cable needle just because I had never done it before, but I'm sure you could do it without. And then on the back, she continues in a 2x2. I don't think this was twisted rib. I think this was regular, just a regular 2x2 rib. And oh, it wasn't all 2x2. That's right. Disregard that. The leg has a different variation. And I think she is saying the pattern will be released around August 1st or so. But so you have the cable on the front, you have ribbing on the back, and then the ribbing continues. The bottom part of the foot is regular stockinette, and then the ribbing lines up down the foot, and so it is really nice. And she does a rounded toe and a slip stitch heel flap and gusset. I can't remember if I said, but I did 56 stitches, which is her small. I think if I make this pair again, obviously not going to do this on the second one, but what I would like to do is go up to her 64 stitch count, but maybe go down a needle size to like a 2mm, because even though the ribbing is really stretchy, I didn't get it as high up on my leg as I would have liked. But this was a really quick and fun pattern. I finished it in exactly 2 weeks. So, and it really should have been done quicker than that. But I went slow with the cable because I had to drop some on the second cable. So I had to get them all back. And in fact, I tried getting it back, and there is a little section, let me see if I can find it. Yeah, a little section right here where I didn't get the pearls correctly back, but I didn't notice it right away, so I'm not changing it. It is what it is. Really great pattern. I love the way Darcy does her sock patterns. I love her detail and attention to detail even, and I also really love her gusset decreases, the way she does it in a 4-row repeat that's easy memorization, and so you decrease at a faster rate, and I love it. So, and then I did I believe I did 47 rounds for the foot, and then I did her rounded toe, which is a typical rounded toe, really great, and I love it. The yarn I used is Southern Schemes. This was their November 2021 sock box, and I only used the main color. I still have the mini skein that came with it, but in the color Red Rock Canyon. And I used a US size 1 2.25mm. I was doing magic loop, and then I realized after the heel flap, so I changed the foot from magic loop to 9-inch circular, hoping that would make my gauge a little larger so it wouldn't be quite as tight. And that seemed to work out just fine. So again, that was a US size 1, 2.25 millimeter, and super great. My next work in progress is another Chitchat knit sock. This was a test I did back in October, but I had not finished it. So I will put the original on a sock blocker and then show you what I have. This is the tallest sock I have done. If you've seen my episodes before, you have seen this sock many times. But here's the one I made for the test. This is the Shiny Bright Socks by Chitchat Knits. And here I am working on the second one. I don't remember where I was exactly the last time I filmed, but I am just finished this morning the gusset decreases, so now I'm just onto the foot, so not a lot to tell there. I am doing magic loop, US size 1, 2.25 millimeter. I did her size small, which in this pattern is 60 stitches, which is actually what my new go-to is when the pattern allows for it. And the yarn, this is yarn that I dyed. It was all let me see if I have a label. I don't have a label with me, but it was all Knit Picks Muse fingering weight. And here's the first skein. This is my main color, which I dyed using Hawaiian Punch. And then the stars alternate between just bare yarn and these two skeins that I dyed, kind of a tealish blue color and then this purpley mauve color. And that is it. And my next work in progress is my shark socks, which are the Florida Girls Sports Socks by, can't remember her name, but she goes by Groove Mom. I did not get them in time for Shark Week, or Sock Week, hosted by Nitty Natty, but that's okay. I made good progress on them. Here's my little shark detail. And it is a rolled cuff. It fits differently than the sock I did last year. And so here's what I think I did wrong, but I'm not undoing it. I think when I did my provisional cast on, this pinky yarn, I'm pretty sure is a DK weight, and of course I just did a fingering weight here. So I think if I make them again, which I probably will, I will use a provisional cast on with the DK weight because it made it a perfect fit. Whereas this one is just slightly tight, and I think once I block them I can probably get it to stretch out. But it has they're super sporty socks. It has a heel partridge, eye of partridge, heel flap and gusset, and I am just working onto this foot. And then I will do, I forgot to count on the first sock last year how many rows I did for my foot, so I'm trying it on constantly. And then I will do the Crazy Sock Lady toe. The needles I'm using are a US size 0, 2 millimeter. She only has one size available, which is 64 stitches. It would be easy, to adjust it otherwise, but I didn't feel like doing it, so I just went down a needle size. And then I think on the foot, I noticed this time, she goes up to a US size 1, 2.25, but I didn't change needles. I just kept it at a 64 stitch because normally that's too big for me. So, but on a 0, on a 2 millimeter, it works out fine. The yarn I'm using, my gray yarn is Knit Picks Stroll in the color Ash. And then my contrast color is Southern Skeins from their December 2021 sock box. It was the mini that came with it, which is the color Frosty. And that's really all there is to tell about that. Hopefully I'll get that done soon. And then my next work in progress is just my Musselburgh hat. I am making the adult small. I worked on a little bit. Hopefully I'm close to being at least midway or something. I don't know. I haven't measured it, but the yarn is Alta Truth DK in the color 3015, which is purple plum. And I'm using a US size 5 3.75 millimeter needle for that. I have not touched any of my shawls, and let's see what all. So that's the end of my projects. I did bring my Each Kindness shawl, but I only worked a few rows on it. It's not worth showing at this point. So that will be an ongoing project. Sorry, my husband's weed eating. Hopefully it's not too loud, but I'm about done. We have had a really amazing summer. Let's see. I don't remember exactly what all we did, but I know we went to the fair, which was a really good time. That was the first time in 4 years that we went to the fair, and it was a good time. Turtle always loved it. What is it, honey?
Mine play in the sand.
Yes, go around this way. You can play in the sandbox. And it was a little bittersweet too, because Burger used to always go with us, obviously, to the fair, but it was a good time. It was little lady's first time, and she had an amazing time. They had some amazing crochet and knit projects, and it made me have the desire again for next year to start resubmitting. I used to do that every year, where I would put in my projects, and so next year I'm hoping to do that again. And let's see what else. I don't remember what we did after that, but last week we did go to this indoor trampoline place, which was fun. We kind of found it last minute. We weren't really planning on it, but it was a really great time. The kids loved it, and it was really hot that day, so it was nice to do an indoor kind of activity and jumping on the trampoline. It was a really great time. So that is it for today's episode. We are having BLTs for dinner, so I'm going to go into my mother-in-law's house and fix our bacon, and the kids are playing in the sandbox and just having a really great time. So I will see you in the next one. If you enjoyed this and stayed with me to the end, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you again. Bye.